Oh, I got so carried away. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Flatline Detonation. We are back working on the RS, and I found some stuff that isn't good. If you guys saw the title of the video, we're getting some upgrades because we kind of had some catastrophes with the turbo. We'll get to that thing in a second. As you can see, the engine is out of the car. I got this thing out and I think it was like 42 minutes. It's a record for me. Pretty crazy, right? When you know your car and all the bolts are loose, things come apart really easy. Now, for the bad news. A while back, like almost a year ago, was doing some maintenance on the car, pulled the airbox off. Lo and behold, a nightmare. The filter I had on there didn't have the metal reinforcement. It was supposed to be a quality filter. Turned out it wasn't. And I was like, oh God, I probably sucked up a lot of stuff. Had a track day the next day, put a new filter on it, it was fine. It's been running like that up until the engine failure. Now I'm sure that had nothing to do with the engine failure because that was an oil related on-track problem. But this turbo's been running and making boost looking like that. Look at that. The thing looks like a sawzall blade. It's so bad. Not something I wanted to do, but here we are. And since I have to do it, I might as well do a little bit of an upgrade. Found a guy on a Facebook forum, Pavlog's Engines. I'll put a link on the screen here. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have him rebuild it. It's gonna have a billet wheel and some other intricate things. I'll remember, I'll put them at the end or the beginning of this video. Hopefully that will help with the spooling of the basic non-ABCS 2-liter. My goal isn't very big with this car. It's to make 350. And this year I wanna make 350. I'm gonna put AC back in the car. Right now I'm actually working on getting the interior back together. And if you're wondering what this nightmare is, it's because somebody chopped out this speaker area to put bigger speakers in here. So what I'm doing is I cut some pieces out from a junk car that was being scrapped and I'm fitting them up, gonna rivet them in, going to use some panel bond these back in, and boom, we'll have speakers back in the car, which would be kind of cool because I want this car to be a daily, streetable, drivable, take it to the track. It's kind of hard to keep it reliable because it's a Subaru, but I want it to be a fun car that is livable. If I feel like I'm getting old saying that, but I don't like cars that are terrible to drive. I mean, if it's a full-blown race car, that's fine, but this car runs 12.7s. It's not fast. I mean, it's quick cars, but it's not fast. If you're running 12s, man, you need AC. Okay, I'm blowing a lot of hot air here. So I need to get this thing torn down, boxed up, and shipped out. Those adapters. All right, I've got this thing stripped down the way he asked me to. We're gonna box it up, ship it out, and it's gonna come back with a fancy new wheel in there, and we're gonna make some boost.
4 to 6 weeks later.
I got the turbo back. I already looked at it, and it looks pretty sweet. But you might notice, I got carried away. Like, I got really carried away. This video was supposed to be put a turbo on the engine, throw it in, start it up, be on my way. As you can see, I didn't do that. I went straight down the rabbit hole. There was a bunch of things in this engine bay that have bugged me ever since I got this car from underneath a tree. There was a couple bolts that were snapped off from previous owners, so heated those up, got those out. You might notice this guy is actually from a different car because, as you saw, I killed the turbo and I didn't have all the things that belong there. This is actually a block-off plate. I've got some things planned for the intake that I'm not 100% sure on. If I do something like that, I'll make a video on it, but let's talk about this stuff because this quickly turned into a unboxing video and kind of an update of what's going on with the RS because I got really carried away. Let's start with the turbo because that's what this video was intended to be. And let me tell you, it is pretty sweet. I sent this thing off to Pavel's Engines and it took a little longer. He had some stuff going on and that's kind of why I got carried away because I had extra time on my hands, but this thing looks really good. He had everything taped off. I already pulled the tape off of this guy here, but man, that wheel looks sweet. No more Sawzall blades in there. And I believe, I'll have to look at the receipt, but I believe it actually has a different exhaust side wheel. It does look a little different. Don't mind the typical VF series wastegate crack, but this thing looks pretty sweet. It's all coated and all that fancy stuff. He did a really good job on this turbo. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, but I need to remove some stuff off of this thing, like the wastegate actuator, because you might have noticed the Turbosmart product sitting here. I got carried away. I'm gonna say it again and again and again. I got carried away. And we are going to an external wastegate. Do I need this? Probably not. No. Just like most of the things on this car I don't need. Will it help with boost control? Definitely. This is gonna be far superior to the one that's on there. I don't even know how old or how many miles are on the wastegate that are on that turbo. So I'm going external wastegate. And it's mainly because I like the sound of it. I'll insert a video of me gapping some fools in my old car. Yeah, that old lady didn't have a chance. But we're gonna go with this. And I got some more parts to make this work with that. So let's unbox those. Start with this guy here, because if you haven't seen in recent news, external wastegate production, as far as aftermarket companies making up pipes with external wastegates, Grimspeed and all those guys are no longer doing it because of EPA regulations. So guys like us have to make our own stuff, which I plan to do anyway because I really like that setup and it all works together really well and I know how to TIG weld. So I got this little guy from a company called Monkey Fab, and he's a cool guy and he even gave me a sticker. IG didn't even give me a sticker. Come on, what's up with that? Got a sticker, you know, throw that in the toolbox. That'll add 20 horsepower somewhere. But I got this guy. It is a pre-cut piece of metal, obviously. Bruh. That perfectly fits into your flange for your wastegate. And if I can do this, show you my up pipe here. It's cut in a manner that helps exhaust gases flow nicely out of it. And it's gonna go somewhere in there. This is meant for a 2-inch pipe, so I'm gonna have to kind of grind it down just a little bit to get it to seat, but for 28 bucks shipped to your door, this thing is well worth the money. I would definitely buy it again, because there's nothing more annoying than sitting there with a grinder and getting dust everywhere, like I've been doing on the engine bay to get that thing all prettied up again. That goes with that. Now to make all of that work together, I got a block-off plate, or I don't know what you call it, an adjustable wastegate arm That will bolt onto the turbo like so. I like these because you have an adjustable arm and you can get this really, really tight so it seals all the gases in, because the last thing you want is to have gases escaping out of the backside, because kind of negates the whole wastegate control of it. Got that off eBay for a whopping $25. And again, pretty good quality on that for 25 bucks. Some random things. I got this solely because I never liked the red one I had on here. My intake's red, and with this being red, it was just too much red in the engine bay. Which kind of leads me to this part right here. I like black. I don't know if you noticed, even though my car's nickname is White Girl, I like black. And you know, I want the engine bay to look pretty when I'm done with this car. So that's why I'm taking the extra time to replace missing metal that was cut out by previous owners. Gonna paint the engine bay. I already moved that battery to underneath the passenger seat like you guys have seen, so this will be all clean. Basically prettying up my car. Doesn't add any performance to your vehicle, but it's easy on the eyes. Just like, this is a total racer mod. HKS oil fill cap. If you guys haven't seen my video of installing the HKS Equal Links and HKS High Power, go watch those after this, but I really like HKS. This was 12 bucks on eBay, so I could not resist. Take this off there. Bolt that guy on. Wow, many wows. So JDM. It's upside down. No. That's probably why it was 12 bucks. Now, on to something that I've actually had for a while and I haven't just recently bought, but has been sitting. I got an Accessport. Now this car has been tuned on speed density, open source Carberry tune. I had a bunch of issues with like startup and this kind of like, there's just always little things I didn't like about the tune. There's not many people around me that do open source, so I'm really good friends with somebody that I work part-time for on the weekends that is a pro tuner for Cobb, so I figured spend the 500 bucks, get me a Cobb Accessport, and I can be like all the other Subaru owners, except I don't vape, so I guess I'm not like all the other Subaru owners. I do like the fact this will show me a bunch of extra information that I would need more gauges for. So I can see like water temp, boost, that kind of stuff. All gauges I don't have in the car and I really don't want to add to it because I like the interior kind of simple and clean how it is now. More non-performance mods. Like you guys saw, I'm working on the speakers in the back. Engine is done for the most part. You guys saw I installed that IAG pan in the last video. This thing should be good to go. Throw the intake and everything on, throw it in the car. So basically the plan is, this is an update video, and then in the next video I'm going to be showing you welding this in, getting the wastegate hooked up, bolting everything onto the engine. I'll probably just go ahead and paint the engine bay because you guys don't need to see me paint the engine bay. Paint the engine bay, get that all ready, so basically I can just throw it all together, start it up, and then after that we'll do a video on dyno tuning it, and then hopefully I'll be back working on this Z. I never intended to be working on the RS this long, but it's always been one of those things that I've wanted to do and make it nice because everybody knew this car as being fast, but it was kind of deterred because it didn't look good, but it ran really well. So now I want to do both. I want to make it look nice, run well, so I can go to car shows, pop the hood, and people are like, wow, that thing's pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We will see you next time when I work on getting all the turbo stuff bolted, welded, and ready to go. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.